The Batman Arkham series, this is actually one of the ways that a lot of you found this channel, and I will always be appreciative of this series because it's also how my wife and I met. This series has a lot going for it, and today I wanted to talk about why people still love it, why people still talk about this series now, years after any of these games launched. And you know why? Because they're very, very special to people. Before I talk more about this today, if you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like, let me know what you think, comment down below. And also, question of the day, of course, question of the day. What is your favorite Batman Arkham game and why? Or also, alternatively, what's your favorite non-Batman or non-Arkham superhero game and why? I also do have another channel I just started, JayRPG, which is JayRPG, where I'm talking about other games like role-playing games, Japanese role-playing games, stuff like that, like Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, Dark Souls, Elden Ring, all kinds of stuff. So if you want to check that out, the link will be in the description down below. And I also want to say a huge thank you to today's sponsor, Fringe. I've been having problems with my wallet for a long time. I keep losing my wallet. It's black, it blends into everything, it's huge. Who wants to carry this whole thing around? Not me, especially when Fringe exists. Fringe makes all kinds of awesome wallets. This wallet actually expands to fit their trusty coin tray. Now this fits some coins in it as well, and it actually fits right into your wallet, which I think is awesome, with room as well for cards. There's even a cash strap on the back. Also, you know what else they sell as well? Something to carry around your keys. It's like the perfect size where it can strap right onto your belt. It can strap onto anything that you're wearing. It's got a strap right here, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. You can fit everything in here, and it's small, which is something really awesome because this is not actually going to take up all the room in your pockets or in your purse or bag or whatever, because this actually expands to fit up to 12 cards. So the Fringe wallet actually has up to 30 plus different styles and colors, which I think is really awesome. So if you're into character customization in real life, bada bing, bada boom, they got you covered right there. Some other awesome features of this wallet are that it has RFID blocking, which means that scammers can't just come up to you with a little miniature computer, bump into you, and steal all your information. This blocks that. Yes, that is a thing that really happens. It's terrifying. I've had my credit card stolen 3 times and I'm only 29. I've had people take my information. And as well as that, it has optional AirTag attachments, which means that if you're a little bit absent-minded like me in real life, I got a lot of stuff to keep track of. Sometimes it's easy to lose my wallet. You know what? I can find it very easily that way with that feature that Fringe has available. Fringe also does carry a lot of other products though, including the key case. It matches my Fringe wallet. So I got color coordination going on, baby. This looked very, very Batman-y to me, like the gold belt attachments and stuff. Fringe has a lot of awesome features and security behind them though. They have served over 3 million people. Awesome, really cool to see. They have over 100,000 5-star reviews. They have a lifetime warranty on their products as well. And on top of all of that, they have a 365-day risk-free trial. That means if you don't like it, you send it back. They give you your money back, which is a full refund. That's awesome. You don't see that every day. So really good customer service from Fringe when it comes to that. You can get up to 30% off when you buy these together, bundled together on their website, which I think is truly awesome. So head on over to ridge.com/DJAY123. That's my unique code, my unique link that Fringe has set me up with. Thank you very much, Fringe. I appreciate it. And you can get up to 30% off right now for a limited time only through April 1st. So head on over today. Thank you, Fringe, for sponsoring this video. So thank you very much to Fringe. I appreciate it, and I appreciate anyone who's willing to support independent channels and independent content creators like this. It means the world to me. Now, as far as the Batman Arkham series goes, this is a series that has stuck with people for many, many years, going all the way back to the early 2000s with Batman Arkham Asylum. We got several games over the course of several years, and kind of ending with Batman Arkham Knight in 2015, at least for now. There were, of course, as well floated around canceled concepts like the Damian Wayne Arkham game, which forever will haunt our souls that we didn't get, but the series as is very special. Yes, I do know Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is in this timeline, but for this video, I don't really see the point in talking about it because it's not really technically an Arkham game, it's just in that universe. One of the things that I know stuck with me very much, just from starting Arkham Asylum, was the atmosphere. And this is something that I can make an entire video on and I still plan to talk about, but that confined atmosphere where you were alone, outgunned, felt outmatched at every turn, but you had to use your wits and your gadgets as Batman to make your way through this world and defeat evil. I thought this was something really, really awesome. This was kind of an experience that I hadn't personally felt before playing a superhero video game. Most of the superhero games I had played up to this point were Spider-Man, and even though there were times where you would encounter something technically more powerful than you, the amount of powers you had at your disposal, I thought made it really feel less threatening than in Arkham Asylum. You know, if you're making mistakes doing Predator, an untrained thug with a gun could still kill Batman. I always thought that was something really cool, and I thought it helped really prioritize stealth and thinking while playing the game. The free flow combat system as well was less mashy than almost anything I had personally experienced in games to this point, and I think that it goes to show that that had such staying power as well because of how many games either emulated that kind of thing, like either tried to copy it one for one, games like the Amazing Spider-Man games where they were basically trying to just do that exact thing, all the way down to now how it's just become a staple for superhero games in general to have a more free flow based combat, even if it's not the same. Games like Insomniac Spider-Man went further in that direction. I know that ever since, I would say, Raimi's Spider-Man 2, they had toyed with that idea, they had done that some, but the Arkham games really made it stick in superhero games a lot more, with even games like Guardians of the Galaxy actually using bits and pieces of that kind of gameplay. And so that sort of thing really stuck with people, and of course over the years it was improved on or added to or whatever you wanted to say with the Arkham follow-ups, with things like City, Origins, or even Knight. But of course, one of the biggest things with the Arkham series is the value that you get for your money. Now, every playthrough you do of this game, while it's not going to be significantly different, you can always tackle challenges a little bit differently. Maybe you want to do a Predator encounter a little different this time. Maybe you want to actually try and vary your combos, and make them, I guess I would say, improved or maybe more stylish or whatever than the last time you did it. I find that I'm always kind of learning new things when playing Arkham, even years after I've started playing it. When I go back to it after a few months, it's like, oh yeah, if I do this combination, I can do this, and that actually helps lead into this. In that way, it sort of has a fighting game-esque thought process behind the combat and behind the Predator, where you're kind of experimenting with what works best for you. Maybe using batarangs and simplicity is a little better for your version of your playthrough. I think that kind of stuff is awesome, but of course, this doesn't just apply to the gameplay. Like, the reasons why people find this special and keep going back to it, it's not just how the game plays. I think it's also the excellent storytelling. Now, I know that people will have their problems with different stories in this universe. For example, the story around Arkham Asylum is fairly simple, and Titan Joker frustrates a lot of people. Or even as well, you have things like, I would say, the Jason Todd twists in Arkham Knight, or the, if not lying, pretty misleading marketing behind Arkham Origins with Black Mask. There will always be things that don't connect with people, but overall this series has pretty tight writing in most of its games. It has excellent voice work, it has excellent atmospheres, and it does as well have a lot of passion behind it. Also, everywhere you go in this series, it's just packed with Easter eggs and things that make the world feel alive and just lived in. It makes it feel like people have been here before you and people will be here after you. You know, in Arkham Origins, you might turn one corner and see a poster of Zatanna. In Batman Arkham Knight, you might be walking down the street and you might come across a reference to John Constantine. These kinds of things are very special to me because they go to show that the people making the games actually cared about knowing the source material. Yes, there were a lot of times where they changed things to fit their universe. Sometimes they worked out very well, sometimes they didn't, but overall they knew what was going on in the comics. They knew the history of these characters, with even references as well to things like Poison Ivy's plant shop in Batman Arkham City from when she tried to reform in the DCAU. They were doing those sorts of things, and you were even unlocking Arkham City and Arkham Knight stories, you were unlocking audio tapes, and you were finding these very hidden, passionate things that expanded all of the characters, fleshed them out, and actually made them feel very three-dimensional. There weren't a lot of characters that felt like two-dimensional or felt like they shouldn't be there. Yes, there will be missed opportunities in any series. I'm looking at you, Scarface. I really think that Scarface was a character that should have been involved, or maybe Prometheus from all the teasing. But all of the things that were here, you could tell that the people who put them in cared about them, which is something that I don't think you see in a lot of video game series. A lot of times it feels like things are just thrown in to take up space, maybe take up your time, or distract you from pushing through the game quickly because there's not actually that much value here. With Arkham, it didn't really ever feel like that to me for the most part. There were a couple things like saving the firefighters that I thought were a little not the most interesting in Arkham Knight, but I do think that the people putting those things in always very clearly cared about them and always wanted them to be interesting. Just because some didn't connect with me doesn't mean that there wasn't passion there, and that passion could be felt throughout the entire series. Speaking of passion, I know that there are a lot of amazing voice actors involved in this series, and I know that a lot of times it's boiled down to just a few, but I do think that the examples of people like Kevin Conroy as Batman or Mark Hamill as Joker go to show the passionate performances behind a lot of the characters in the Batman Arkham franchise. And I'll go a step further. Even Roger Craig Smith's take on the Dark Knight in Batman Arkham Origins, or Troy Baker's take on the Clown Prince of Crime in that game, they were filled with these passionate intonations and their own twists on the script and on the voice acting that I thought really connected with fans. You know, I have noticed that with Arkham, I go out of my way to hear all the voice lines I possibly can. There's really never a time when I'm trying to rush through it to get past something. Even when I'm flying through the world, grabbing up a couple Riddler trophies, I will hear thugs talking about something, and I will stop and look in their direction and listen because their story is humorous or interesting or adds lore to the world. I know that most of the times I've played Arkham Knight, I've found a hidden Easter egg or a voice line here or there that I didn't really even notice, things hidden from the Joker hallucinations. Even things like in Wayne Tower, how you can go and get voicemails from Joker, as well, in your head of course, or even Kate Kane, you know, Batwoman from the comics, and you can hear her talking to Bruce. I think these kinds of little details are things that they're not really thought about as much when you're playing the game. You kind of just see them and you think, oh, interesting. But the developers and the writers took time to pack the world with this lively atmosphere that actually makes it feel like Gotham City. It makes it really come across like you are living in a version of that city and partaking in a certain era of time in it, and that each game's era of that city is a little bit different but reminiscent of previous ones. That kind of continuity, I think it's really, really cool. Finally, I think that just the fact that it is a single player series that doesn't really rely on the internet is really great. In today's day and age of gaming, it feels like everything relies on the internet. Now, there are online games that I definitely enjoy. You know, I always throw Fortnite out there, for example, but overall, I do really think that this series benefits from its lack of online necessities. There will be things like DLC that you can always get, but overall, these are complete games without the internet. You can play through the story from start to finish, relatively no issues, and I think that's really cool, because that's something that even though we do still see today, there's always a push more and more in the direction away from that. So to see that prioritized in this series, to see it be this game series that is preserved, that people will go back to and play through hundreds of times and find new secrets in, new voice lines, new Easter eggs, new story tidbits that maybe they didn't notice, or even just kind of notice new little gameplay mechanics that maybe they didn't use in combat before, while enjoying the story, while enjoying the world, and actually participating in a Batman universe. I think those things all together kind of, they sort of ebb and flow together with each other throughout the experience of these games to be something truly special that I think people will think back to and remember pretty much forever as long as gaming is around. If you enjoyed today's video, I'd love it if you left a like, subscribe for more content, and of course, I do want to say a huge thank you to Ridge for sponsoring this video. It's honestly difficult sometimes to get sponsorships in today's climate with YouTube, you know, with how tumultuous everything is. So a company like Ridge taking a chance on a creator like me, it'll always mean the world to me. Of course, be sure to check out Ridge's website using my unique link as well, which is reminiscent of a code you might have seen before, DJAY123. It's ridge.com/DJAY123, and that's in the description and in the top pinned comment as well. Like I said before, they are celebrating their 11-year anniversary sale. I remember being a young man, hearing ad integrations for Ridge, actually hearing creators that I looked up to talking about Ridge. I never expected that Ridge would ever want to sponsor a channel like mine, or that I would ever be here talking about them. Their wallets, their key holders, everything are just really, really awesome, sturdy, and unique. And you know what? They make me feel special. Have a great day, and as always, everyone, stay shui.